Hey everybody, Alonzo here with Gulf Coast Smoke, and today we're talking Valentine's Day dinner. So I know Valentine's Day is a good time to take your loved one out, show them how much you care, get them a nice expensive dinner, maybe take them to get a gift, a movie, something like that. But here at Gulf Coast Smoke, we feel like there's no better way than to show somebody you love them with a nice, big, juicy piece of meat. So I'm cooking this 3.5 pound prime tomahawk ribeye for me and my Valentine. This thing is going to be impressive. Now, what we plan on doing is we plan on hitting it with a little bit of olive oil and some chupacabra rub. And just looking at this thing, my mouth is watering already. We're gonna cook it on my Weber kettle. I'm gonna show you that here in just a minute. I'm gonna show you how I set up my fire, and we're gonna go through everything. In the end, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of compound butter. I'll show you how to make that as well. And I guarantee you, anybody you make this for, they're gonna love you for the rest of the year. And I can't guarantee anything past that. So let's go ahead and hit it with a little bit of olive oil. And you're not actually gonna taste this in the end. This is just gonna act as a binder on this big piece of meat. And then we wanna hit it with some chupacabra. We love this rub around here. Honestly, it just has a lot of nice flavoring. Heavy salt, heavy pepper. You can see a little bit of the seasonings in there. Don't be afraid to make a mess here. Just clean it up. Get all the sides. Like I said, you wanna impress. We're gonna do the same thing with the other side. A little more olive oil, rub it in. Chupacabra. And this is a large piece of meat. You can see how thick it is. Like I said, this thing is 3.5 pounds. It's a huge chunk of meat. You're not gonna over season it unless you just absolutely cake it on. So don't worry too much about that. You do wanna get those nice flavors coming through on here. You can already see that it's looking righteous. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out, we're gonna light the charcoal, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put it on the pit, and then we're gonna cook it. Okay, so we got the steak seasoned up. Now we're ready to talk about how we're gonna cook this thing. We're gonna cook it on my Weber Kettle 22 today, and this is one of the most versatile grills in the game. I definitely recommend, if you don't have one of these, invest in one. It's relatively inexpensive and you can do so much with it. It's a great starter pit. This is how I started, and this is really how I think that I started to love barbecue. So what I do want to talk about is a 2-zone fire today. That's how we're going to cook. So here you can actually see that I've used some charcoal baskets in order to create a line right down the middle of the kettle. And what I want to do here is I actually want to put some hot coals over here, and I want to leave this with no hot coals at all. So that's where I get my 2-zone fire. So what this allows me to do is it allows me to get a sear on my steak right here, and then I'll use a raised rack, which I'll show you here in just a little bit, on this side where there's no direct heat, and we'll finish the steak off. We're not worried about time today. We really just want to hit an internal temperature of 123. We want a rare steak. This is a good piece of meat, and we want to make sure that we cook it properly and it turns out really nice. So with these types of steaks, it's really simple, and it's really easy to mess them up because you want to do it hot and fast. I don't recommend that when it comes to this type of meat, just because it's so large, you really can overdo it pretty quickly. So we'll go through everything whenever we bring the steak out. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna light up some charcoal in my charcoal chimney. All I do is use a little bit of olive oil on some pink butcher paper, light it, put it under my chimney, and let the coals get red hot. And we'll be right back. We'll show you how we're gonna put it on here, and we'll show you how we're gonna sear the steak. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and get the coals on the Weber kettle, sear this steak off. So I told you about that 2-zone fire, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean here. So you can see here, all the coals are on one side. That's where we're gonna sear. And on this other side, there's gonna be no coals at all, and that's gonna give us our indirect point. So, real quick, make sure you're using some hot gloves, and we're gonna go ahead and sear this. So I'm gonna wanna let this run for about a minute and a half. And then what I'll do is I'll pick it up, put it 90, do it another minute and a half. We wanna do 3 minutes per side here, so I got a little timer set so I can make sure that I know exactly when it's time. All right, it's been a minute and a half. Let's go ahead and turn this 90 degrees so we can get some cross marks on this. Let's look at the sear. Oh yeah, that's looking great. Another minute and a half, and then we're gonna flip it. Okay, this has been 6 minutes. Perfect sear. That is exactly what I want to see on this bad boy. It's gonna be a nice crunch there in the end, but we still have to cook this indirect. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this raised rack that I bought on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested. And this is what I'm gonna use to cook it the rest of the way. Just like this. Again, we are no longer worried about how long this is gonna take. We're not even worried about how hot this fire is over here. All we wanna do is finish off this steak to perfection. So, I'm gonna add some wood chunks. This is hickory. And I want that smoke to go ahead and help cook the rest of this meat. All right, so another thing we want to make sure on this steak is that we cook this to 123 internal. That's exactly the way me and my Valentine like steak. If you like it a little bit more, go further. 123 is going to verify that I get a rare steak today, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm using a probe, a meat thermometer, and I'm sticking it into the thickest point of this steak here. And right now, we're sitting at 81 degrees internal. We still have a ways to go. And the other important thing is, with this Weber kettle lid, you want to put the vents over the meat. What that allows it to do is all this smoke is going to travel over the meat, out the vents. So you're going to get all the flavor coming straight over here, and that's exactly what we want. Great, that smoke's going to hit that meat. It's going to help it cook a little bit slower. We're going to verify that we get a red steak all the way through. Wait till you see this. It's going to turn out perfect. Okay, so we got the steak on that raised rack like I just showed you, and now, like we talked about earlier, it's time to make this compound butter. It's gonna take this steak to a whole nother level. Anybody you make this for is gonna love this. If you don't wanna try it on a tomahawk steak like this, try it on any steak, and I promise you it's gonna be delicious. So what I have here is some fresh garlic, thyme, and rosemary, and all I'm gonna do is use a softened stick of butter. And then we're gonna mix all the ingredients together here in my bowl. Just throw it all in. Mix together. So from here, we're gonna throw it straight on some saran wrap, plastic wrap, whatever you call it. Then we're just gonna roll it up. From here, you can actually form it a little bit. Twist it. Throw this right in the fridge and it'll be ready in about 15 or 20 minutes. All right, so my meat probe is telling me that the steak is 110 internal. We have about 13 degrees to go. So now is the perfect time for that compound butter we made earlier. Look at the color on it. It is looking so good. I cannot wait until this is done. This compound butter, like I told you earlier, is gonna set it off. Take a few slices, put it right on the steak. And we're just gonna let it cook the rest of the way. This is gonna melt all over it. You're gonna see garlic, rosemary, thyme all over this steak. It's gonna turn out so good. I'm so excited, you have no idea. All right, so my internal reading is sitting right at 123, and it's time to pull this steak off. But what I always like to do to verify 100% that this is accurate is use my thermopin. So let me do that real quick. Oh yeah, perfect 123. Let's pull this bad boy. Now the hardest part, we're gonna let this rest for about 10 minutes before we slice it.
2,000 years later.
All right, so it's that time. The steak is finally done. Overall, cook took about 45 minutes. We got that quick sear. We let it finish indirect with that hickory smoke. And man, I'll tell you what, I can smell that hickory from here. I can see a nice crust. I know it's gonna be so good. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Let's start to slice this bad boy up. Whoop. Little mess there. How does she look? Perfect. Look at that. Juice is running everywhere. Cooked rare, exactly the way I want it. Let's take a few slices of this. All right, I have to take a bite. Give me just a sec. That is cooked perfect. There's not a better steak out there. You can take your sweetheart somewhere, but if you cook this, I guarantee you she's gonna love it way more. Sorry about my kids in the back. Like I told you guys before, I'm a father of 3. But it doesn't matter. This is just what I do. This is the Gulf Coast Smoke way. Wow. You taste that hickory instantly. You get that nice crunch from the bark that we created from that sear. The garlic, rosemary, thyme comes through. Wow. An amazing steak. I recommend this to anybody. Please try it out. Let me know if you do in the comments below and see if your wife, your husband, whoever, see if they like it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to plate this up and we'll be right back. All right, so dinner is served. You can see this nice tomahawk steak. I also put together some sides, bacon wrapped asparagus, some red potatoes that I boiled for about 20 minutes, added bacon, green onions, and butter. This is gonna be a winner at any dinner table, I guarantee it. All right, so you didn't think that I was gonna treat you this well and not give you a little bit of dessert, right? Hey, I really appreciate all the support you guys have been showing me. As of right now, I just checked, I have 55 YouTube subscribers. So to the 55 of you, thank you so much. I'm gonna keep these videos rolling all year long, every single Friday. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure to do that. But just like I said a second ago, let's look at this dessert. Molten chocolate cake, chocolate covered strawberries hit with a little bit of white chocolate in the end. I mean, another absolute winner at the dinner table. This is good enough for probably 4 people, but hey, it's Valentine's Day. Go ahead and splurge a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut into this real quick to show you guys what we're working with. Ooey gooey chocolate. Ice cream's already melting a little bit. Nothing better. Hey, go ahead and try this recipe out. Let me know how it turns out. Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovebirds out there. We'll see you on the next video.